You. All of you. Every last rotten fuck on this island has crossed a man far less forgiving than old George will ever be. I come as his right hand. I come on a mission of mercy to show you a path to his forgiveness. I come on behalf of Captain Flint.
For the past few months, you and I have been on the trail of a prize so rich, it could upset the very nature of our world. Right now, I would like to tell you that that prize is within our grasp.
There is an unthinkable victory within our reach. And I will see this through by whatever means I have at my disposal.
The largest Spanish treasure galleon in the Americas. Total cargo in excess of $5 million.
$5 million in Spanish gold, to be exact. I'm not just gonna make you rich.
That fight will be the fight of our lives.
I'm not just gonna make you strong.
But on the other side,
I'm gonna make you the princess of the new world!
lies paradise.
There's a war coming, Bill.
One ship isn't a war.
One ship isn't what's coming.
Civilization is coming. And it means to exterminate us.
Fighting a war to protect Nassau. A war in which our most effective weapon is the fear that we can instill in our enemies.
I have fought and bled alongside my men.
I am suggesting that we help each other. Start taking things back.
We're all in this for our own reasons, but we must hold the line and stand together. We must.
And it starts with Nassau.
What did you do?
What was necessary?
They took my home.
What do you suggest?
I can't walk away from that.
We remind them
That we have shown them what we are capable of.
that they were right to be afraid.
And it terrifies them. This ends.
Everyone is a monster to someone.
When I grant them my forgiveness, since you are so convinced that I am yours, not the other way around,
I will be it. What does the colonial power do? When the men whose toil powers it lay down their shovels, take up swords and say no more.
but in my head, despite all I've heard about you, your non-well-being, your mercilessness, your cruelty.
Ready to guns! Full complement! Gun crews! Prepare to return fire! Stay ready! Full back! Take cover! Can you go now? You gentlemen's coming!
With no room for bargain or compromise. Charles Spain and the animals he commands have until sunrise tomorrow to vacate that fort, or so help me God!
I will rain holy hell down upon him.
Fire.
Fire!
Now,
What's the target, Captain?
whatever's left, bring down Nassau. Maybe bring it all down. I have survived starvation, a tempest, pirate hunters, jealous captains, mutinous crews, angry lords, a queen, a king, and the goddamn British Navy.
Did I ever tell you where that name came from?
No.
I told you of my grandfather who raised me. Fisherman in Padstow. A stranger approaches my grandfather and asks him for a little rum. And when asked his name, the man simply replied, Mr. Flint. When I first met Mr. Gates and he asked me my name, I feared the man I was about to create. I feared that someone born of such dark things would consume me were I not careful. Am I ready to let him go? Truth is, every day I've worn that name, I've hated him a little more.
Is there a name spoken more frequently, or with more revulsion, than Flint?
To him.
We're all disposable.
And what happens when those orders get us killed?
Kits to be used for his own purposes.
You send in 4 more.
Maybe Singleton is right. Maybe it's time we made a change.
I'm tired of the energy it takes to believe you. To believe
in you.
Because there is no life here. There is no joy here. There is no love
You
here.
deceive good men who put their trust in me because I was convinced they would be better off for it.
She orchestrated it all.
It bothers you, doesn't it? What they think.
Death.
The things you've done.
The destruction.
My God. It must be awful being you.
The loss. Is it possible a man could do such a thing?
All men have it. But yours is different. Darker.
And in that moment, you felt it.
Felt what?
Darkness. Hate.
But when exposed to extremes, I could not imagine what it is capable of.
I think you're fighting for the sake of fighting. Because it's the only state in which you can function, the only way to keep that voice in your head from driving you mad.
Something else lies at the end of this road. Judgment. Not of Nassau, but of me. And the man that I've become in this entire endeavor.
I don't think that there's a part for Captain Flint in Nassau's future, nor with the blood on his hands.
But there are some things that Captain Flint has done that cannot be defended.
Right now, his state of mind so dark it threatens to kill us all. And now he's the greatest villain in the new world. We all see it. We all follow him because of it. I think it's torture for him. And I think the only way he can imagine it stopping is when there are no more of us left to witness it.
Sit still. Accept what appears to be inevitable. And let this be the end of Captain Flint.
We'll all face certain death with our own kind of lie.
What I assumed was...
I don't know that I have any more lies left in me.
I understand the allure, sorrow, and ensuring that no one will ever think you the villain you fear you are. Loneliness. And worst of all, terror at the thing you were becoming. You have some experience with this, I imagine. Living in fear of such a thing within you.
Yeah, I do.
It's Billy! He fell!
Flint killed him.
Yes.
Mr. Gates turned his back on you. Don't think for a second I'll make the same mistake he did. I'm through following you down a path only you seem able to see. It's just as likely you let go. Drop me into the sea.
When I pledged my support to Captain Flint, I believed the trust between us to be of the strongest kind.
Is that what we are now? Friends? He is my friend too.
Flint is my friend.
When you and I are of the same mind.
But I know what he is.
There is nothing we have not yet been able to do.
As my partner. It wasn't. As my friend. Your fault. I've come to find a great deal of respect for you.
I cannot do it without you.
Perhaps even friendship.
How long do you think he'll suffer before he decides he can do better than you?
That I will be the end of you.
So to whatever extent you may be concerned that someday we will clash, worried that though today we be friends, someday you will have no choice but to be my end. I won't worry too much.
The closer we get to the end of this journey, the more the contradictions will accumulate.
That's how far you've burrowed into his head.
Confusing issues we once thought were clear.
He won't put you out of it until he sees you for what you are.
For the first time, I saw the world through your eyes. A world in which there is nothing left to lose.
This is not what I wanted.
This is not what I wanted.
You're Captain Flint.
They paint the world full of shadows.
My name is James.
And then tell their children to stay close to the light. Their light.
It was as if the sea had conjured that man out of nothing and then...
Their reasons, their judgments.
Taken him back for some unknowable purpose.
And then I spoke and bade you cast aside your shame. And Captain Flint was born into the world.
In the dark there is discovery.
The part of you that always existed, yet never were you willing to allow into the light of day.
There is
Walking land.
possibility, there is
Keep walking.
freedom.
Until somebody mistakes that oar for a shovel. I've been ready to return him to the sea for a long time. For that would be the place that no man had ever been troubled by the sea. And that's where he'd find peace.